if I was to take a stand, actually, I would have said, I would really love to go back to my ancestral practice. But I get to understand something. If our ancestral practice were really that formidable, would the missionaries have outrun us, captured us like slaves, taking us away, indoctrinating us, giving us their religion? Definitely there's something not right.
Yeah, so you don't believe in those idol worship?
I don't believe in God. Not that I don't believe in God. I don't believe in any form of worship of any supernatural being. You have to keep that close there. Yeah.
It's okay.
I don't believe in any supernatural worship. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Because I have noticed this world we live in today, it's not the God you serve that make the world runs.
Exactly.
It's actual how innovative and what you do.
Okay. But do you believe that there is a devil?
If there's no God, there cannot be a devil. The devil is the only lie that have been sustaining God for all these years.
You don't have to question God and try to box it and say, okay, why is this person saying Allah? Why is this person saying this? Why is this person saying that? And another thing, time and season has changed. Even what we are saying now about God in another.
Hey, good day, guys. My name is Lawrence Zino. I'm the chief host of Jovi's Lounge and the CEO of Zino's Fashion. Today we'll be talking about religion. Religion. When you say religion, what comes to your mind is God, right? Now, today we have Mr. Kadiri Umoru. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he believes that there is no God. And on my left, I have Mrs. Caroline, the beautiful young lady today, and Mr. Government, the man on orange. I don't think this our government is orange. Should be black, please. So let's kick. Is there a God? I'll start from Mr. Kadiri, who believes that there is no God. So I would like to ask you, why do you believe that there is no God, like there is no creator?
There's no substantial evidence enough to prove that there is one.
As simple as that.
Yeah.
Mr. Government, why do you feel that there is a God?
Okay, I believe there is God because the manual we use as Christians, which is the Bible.
A manual?
Yeah. It is written, Genesis 1:1, in the beginning, God created heaven and the earth. So, if in the beginning God created, which means God existed before the beginning.
Yeah, so you heard the beginning.
Yeah,
so I would like you to come in, like the beginning is talking about. Are you in line?
No, because we have more than 5,000 religions in this world and all have their own beginning story. Which is only just one of them.
It's only just one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So to make this simple, I think we have Hinduism, we have Buddhism, we have some Shintoism, Confucianism, some other religions. I believe they all have their Genesis stories, just like his own stories. So are you trying to say me that there is God for each region? Because the Indian man believed the word starts from Baram, Abi, Doram. I don't think I pronounced that way, which means India have their own God who created India. The Chinese have their own God who created Chinese. Then we Africans, we choose the God of whoever conquered us or whoever colonized us to say, okay, this is our God. So,
any reaction to that?
Okay, yeah, very well. So, to react to that, I think he's speaking from the fact that he believes there are different gods. But for me, I believe there is one God and different gods.
Okay.
So the gods that he mentioned, the people he mentioned, the Indians and the Chinese and the rest of them, they all have gods they worship. But we Christians, we believe we have God that we worship. So God and gods are not the same thing. Yeah.
Okay. It just clarifies.
Yeah. This is the problem with religion in general.
Yeah.
Superiority. Mine is. He said he have God and the rest are gods.
The small letter God.
Yes. Do you think you can stand in an Hindu man and tell him that your God is Jiu, big letter God, then his own is gods? You can't. You understand? Just like a Christian telling a Muslim that my God is, your own is small gods, my own is the big God. That's why religion is a problem today. But meanwhile, I want us to understand something. He said God and gods. Alphabetically, when you add S to God,
Yeah.
you see the same thing. Whether you spell it with capital letter G-O-D, you see the same thing as gods now, right?
Yeah.
You can only have a big apple and a small apple. Whether you write apple in a big letter, capital letter, or a small letter, apple is still apple. It's just a way of indoctrination to just confuse people and to claim superiority. That's what I see there.
Okay. If you should say that,
Yeah.
in the Bible, God Himself told the Israelites that I am one, and you should not bow down to any other god.
Yeah.
So, to start with, do you believe in the Bible?
From what you just said, it's more reason why I should not believe in the Bible.
Why?
God told the Israelites. He didn't tell Nigerians, he didn't tell Africans, he didn't tell Ghanaians. You understand? You just already answered that for me.
Oh, I answered this for you.
Yeah.
So He told the Israelites.
Yeah.
So that's for them.
Yes,
So
definitely.
there was the God during the time of Israel, right?
Yeah.
There was a God.
Yeah.
So you believe that there is no God now?
I believe every race has their mythical stories to tell about a God. Yoruba said,
Oh my goodness.
Oluwa came down from rope, brought down a chicken leg and sand. So, for example, now let's say the Yoruba nation becomes a world power tomorrow and start colonizing people. When people buy that concept and start using it today,
Yeah, probably.
good. So, any more questions?
So any reaction to what you said?
Okay. I will put a question up to him.
Okay.
All right. You believing that there is no God? I would want to know where the existence of man came from. First of all, the existence of man came from, so that we kind of align that to your existence as a man.
Okay.
Yeah.
One thing with me,
Yeah.
I like putting my debates within my means. You cannot ask me, if you're asking me, let me say you cannot, because you already did. If you're asking me how the origin of man started, if I should ask that question back to you, you take me down to Adam. Do you understand? Which I know that there are more than 1,000 Genesis story or how man became. But I can actually tell you about myself that I was given birth to. Nobody created me. I know my father, and my father knew his father,
Okay.
and his father knew their own father,
Yes.
and they knew their father.
Yes.
If I were opportune, if there was a lifespan that would have taken me to those times to ask one of them,
Yes.
what happened? Do you get?
Yes.
But now, asking me how the man come to existence,
Yeah.
I can't really tell you I know.
Okay.
I will not key into any theory of anything, but I know how I became, and I believe you know how you became.
Okay. Let me ask Mrs. Caroline.
Yeah.
No,
She's
I want to react to.
Okay,
Yeah.
I wanted. She's an expert in.
Okay.
She's a
Okay.
scientist.
Expert.
And, she in terms of evolution, I believe you're turning towards evolution, right?
I didn't make mention of evolution.
Okay.
If you see, I avoided it.
Okay, you avoided it.
Yes.
So you were just where, okay, like you said, you want to be in your own means.
Yes.
Where you can say something.
Yes.
Okay. So do you believe in evolution?
Sure.
You believe in evolution?
100.
100%. So why do you feel humans evolved?
Why do I feel?
Yes.
Because it's the order of life. That is how life started. Evolution is just speaking about how life started and how we got to where we are at the
Okay.
moment.
But you believe
But
that there is a creator?
Sure, I do. I have a question for. Sorry, I didn't get your name from the
Mr.
introduction.
Kadiri.
Okay.
Mr. Kadiri.
You said something. There's something I picked from your statement. You said there is no God. Fine. I'm not going to argue that with you, but I have a question for you.
Okay.
You said every race has a construct
Yeah.
about what they believe.
Yeah.
So now that you're saying there is no God and this is your time, this is your own time and you have a race, what can you bring as a construct if you say there is no God?
Okay.
What is the construct that you can come out with
All right.
about human in general?
What I have to say, first of all, you have to know me sitting here.
Okay.
Okay. When I use the word, I don't believe in God. Most people feel I was born that way. I wasn't. I was a Christian, just like one of you here too. Do you understand?
Yeah.
My indulgence in studying the Bible made me understand that all these are just written by some primitive men. Do you understand?
Okay.
So I decided to do a personal research on religion.
Not in the Bible now.
Yes, because you cannot just confine me to just one book. I start believing it. And I did a research.
So you did a research
Yes.
based on what
on it.
some other primitive men wrote.
Yes.
It's okay.
Then I found out that all were just the institution of men. That was one. Then now coming back to your question, this is my era now. I believe we Africans, we had gods we worship before the advent of the.
Can I just cut you short? Mr. Government, do you believe in evolution?
Well, in as much as I believe in science,
Yes.
yeah, why not?
You believe in evolution? It's okay. Because I wanted to turn to our viewers and tell them that we have 3 different personalities here. One who believes that there is no God, one who believes that there is a God, and one who believes in evolution. But since you are also, like-minded,
But not 100.
not 100%.
Yes, not 100.
So will you like to go with it or not? You cannot be on the fence. You have to choose one.
Okay. I will go with it.
You will go with it. It's okay. On my left, believe in God and they believe in evolution. I'm coming for you guys. You do not believe in evolution.
I did not see.
Do you believe in evolution?
Yes.
You believe in evolution?
You asked me a question.
Yes.
I mean, how man came to be.
Yes.
I know it was trying to drive me to that evolution.
But did the man evolve? Did man evolve?
You said?
Did the man evolve?
Every organism evolves.
Every organism evolve.
Yes.
When they evolve, they give birth. They
So
because
evolve does not particularly means to give birth.
Because where you made mention
From
of
lava,
your father and your mother gave birth to you.
From lava to pupa.
That's the
God.
butterfly.
That's
I don't go to the
Yes,
butterfly.
that's kind of
Come to
evolve.
humans.
Yeah.
We have lava, pupa. I've not
That
seen
is
papa,
just one
mama,
thing.
and
That
adults.
is just one person. I'm just trying to talk about me growing from a child,
Yes.
adolescent,
Yeah, that's
now I'm
growth.
adult.
That's growth.
That's evolving, yeah.
Yes, evolving.
That's evolving.
Yeah.
Evolving is growth.
Yes.
Okay, now
Would we really call evolution growth?
that's his own school of thought. That evolution is growth, just like you had the pupa, lava, and the adults. So now you said you know your father and your mother,
Yeah.
you know their grandfather,
Yeah.
the great grandfather,
Yeah.
and that is where it ends. But you know that your great grandfather knows his great grandfather, and his great grandfather knows his great grandfather.
Yeah.
But none of them has seen any of their father evolve. They were all giving birth to.
Yeah.
So why do you feel that humans evolve? Because for 100 years that you might stay in this earth, you will not see anyone who has evolved. They all have father and mother.
Before we went to do this discourse,
Yes?
I told you I like going within my reach.
Yes.
That is why I shrinked it down
Okay.
to myself.
Okay.
Because you cannot be asking me questions about 100 years or 200 years ago while I'm here.
Because you believe in it.
Yes.
Since you have done your research,
I have
on
evidence about evolution.
Yes.
Does not mean I can give you 100% about evolution.
It's okay.
Do you understand? Now,
Because those who believe in evolution
yeah.
most times believe that there is no God. But I'm surprised to see those who believe in God believe in evolution, which why I said I'm coming for you guys. So you can continue.
So, where are we?
Yeah, you were talking about your
African gods.
being staying in your own region.
Now, I want to go back because I'm still answering this question.
Okay.
So,
Can you make
rather.
Can you make reference to that question again?
Yeah, as in, this is my era. What do I make of the belief right
Yes.
now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, like I was saying, Africans had their own gods they worship before the advent of the colonial masters that ushered in Christianity.
Yeah.
The Arabs that brought in Islam.
Yeah.
If I was to take a stand, actually, I would have said, I would really love to go back to my ancestral practice. But I get to understand something. If our ancestral practice were really that formidable, would the missionaries have outrun us, captured us like slaves, taking us away, indoctrinating us, giving us their religion? Definitely there's something not right.
Yeah. So you don't believe in those idol worship?
I don't believe in God. Not that I don't believe in God. I don't believe in any form of worship of any supernatural being. You have to keep that close there. Yeah.
It's okay.
I don't believe in any supernatural worship. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Because I have noticed this world we live in today, it's not the God you serve that make the world runs.
Exactly.
It's actual how innovative and what you do.
Okay. But do you believe that there is a devil?
If there's no God, there cannot be a devil.
There
The
cannot be a
devil is the only lie that have been sustaining God for all these years.
Come again.
Devil
Yes.
is the only lie that have been sustaining God all these years.
Devil is the only lie that has been sustaining God. That's a big word.
Yeah. Just like Tom and Jerry, the day Tom kills Jerry, the show ends.
Oh my goodness. So there is no God, there is no devil.
There can't be devil when there's if there's
Okay.
no God, there's no devil. If there is a God, then that means it's the devil.
Okay. What can you say about the complexity of the cell? The ability of the cell to regenerate, in terms of mitosis, meiosis. Scientists are still studying the cell and see how it replicates. What can you say about this? Were they created by humans?
Were they created by God?
There should be a creator.
You are guessing there should be
a creator.
a creator.
It's between.
I know.
Yeah.
You asked the question. That's what I was asking. As in, are you guessing? If you want to say that there is a creator, there should be concrete evidence that yes, there's
Okay.
actually a creator.
So how do you think the human cell? How do you think it comes to existence?
I don't know why it comes to existence,
Yes.
but I don't believe it's your God that created it because he didn't drop any manuscript or anything. Because,
Okay.
for example, now the Bible is like the guidelines of Christians, right?
Yes.
Just like the Quran is the guidelines for Islam. If you study those books very well, you will know that they don't even know about DNA. They don't know about genotype. When they will give birth to some special children, like we call them now, autistic children, in those days, they discard some of them, or, they attach one or two things to it. There was a point of time in Nigeria, sickle cell anemia kids, they were calling them Abiku or Baji. They never knew that this was sickle cell anemia.
Yeah.
So you don't have enough evidence to tell me that it's your God because now they have different gods. Like I said earlier on, how do you feel now that is that God of Israel is the one that created us? What's the reason you are giving?
Because if you said there is no God,
Mhm.
and you remember I called to your attention that
Yeah.
I talk about the human cell, how complex it is.
Mm-hmm.
If you believe that there is no God, you have something to say to support that.
Yes.
Because if you say that, I'm still in doubt because this cell, when I look at the DNA, its complexity, look at the universe, look at God's creation, look at the lion, how powerful it is, the solar system, various renewable energies that we have, you'll be like, I'm still in doubt. I don't know if there is a God or if there is no God. But you are holding on so dear to it that there is no God.
Do you know why?
That's why I'm confused.
Do you know why?
Yes.
You see all the things you are mentioning right now.
Yes.
Actually, they are all realities.
Reality that we can
Yeah.
see.
You can see.
Yes.
So, where's your God?
Where is your God?
Yeah.
You can't
I
see
think
God.
what is trying to ask here is, what can you make out of all these things that we can see, the order of life, the sunset, the day, the time, seasons, how cells, life in general, how people live and die. We don't have control of all these things. How a child grows from childhood to adulthood. Everything actually has order. He's trying to ask you, what do you think makes the world have this order. This
System.
orderliness?
System.
Since there is no God
Yeah.
and there is no devil, do you think things are just orderly by chance?
Yes, things are very orderly. If the
So,
sun was
there is
just
no God.
an
What
inch
is-
closer or farther.
I understood him
Yes.
perfectly well. And I gave him a direct answer. I said, he cannot prove it to me that it is his God.
Okay, yes.
Okay.
Let's say I can't prove it.
Yes.
It's not my God. I
Yeah.
don't have any
Or
proof.
what do you take out of it?
Yeah, because I practically answered you guys, but people are missing it.
No, what do you
I
what do you
gave
take
you-
out of
Just
it?
Yes.
give us something to hold on to about life. What is really the engine of life?
Did
Since
life
it is not
Is there,
Africa
really,
was
is,
chance.
there, is there really an engine of life?
Sure.
Well, what is the engine of life?
No, I'm trying to talk about the orderliness, how
Yeah.
things happen out of our
The
control.
structures.
Do
the
you know
system,
that
and the
without
rest.
any man's intervention, the sun will set and it will rise again,
Mhm.
flowers will bloom,
Mhm.
insects will metamorphosize,
Mhm.
things will keep on happening without any human intervention?
Yeah.
What is the engine? What is driving that? Let us not put human into it because, of course, we can say my daddy gave birth to me, my mommy gave birth to me.
You can even
What
put,
about
you can even
these-
put human. Your heart is a
What
pump.
about
It keeps
I
running
want
for
to
years.
put it to nature. Can you tell me the drive force of nature?
Mhm.
What is driving nature? The orderliness in nature.
To be honest with you, I can't really fathom anything that's driving nature. I believe nature is nature.
Okay, that means nature could be a god.
It's you calling it God. I call it nature.
It could be
yeah.
it could be a god. We call it mother nature. It could be like a god.
It
Something.
could be like, how would I? It's just like a system.
You want to say a
Or
natural
are we
phenomenon?
gods? Because
Yes, like yes.
Because
I think he has a
scientists-
problem with that word God.
Yes.
yes, it doesn't have to be God.
Do you know
It
what?
doesn't have to be God.
I don't have a problem with God. It's people projecting God. I have a problem with God.
Okay.
Do you know why? That's why I use that word. You believe in the Jewish God. I will use that word. It's not from your origin. You believe in it. The Arabs, they believe in it, the Jewish God as well, although in another dimension. So let's assume in Nigeria here now, let's say all of us here in this room are Christians. So God is the driving force of Nigeria, giving us oxygen, making the world go round. That means it's also right for the Indian man to say it's his Hindu God that is doing same for him in his region, because they are not of the same origin and they are not of the same kind of people. That is the problem I have with this
Have you
concept.
studied their God?
Yeah.
They are physical gods.
Oh, physical gods.
Yes.
Which of them is physical?
All the idol worship. They
You
worship
you're
elephants. They worship stone.
You're so quick to call them.
Okay,
They
you
have,
know
they
what?
have,
You
they
know
have
what?
God of stone, God of sand and sky. They worship the creatures
Yeah.
of God.
Can
They
I
worship what God
can I
created.
take you back to your Bible?
Yes.
Okay.
In the Old
So
Testament.
our Bible,
Yeah, it's your Bible.
our Bible.
I'm talking to
Yeah,
you.
You don't have to impose
It
it on
doesn't
him.
have to be
Yeah.
his.
Just
You understand?
Yeah.
There was something that signified the presence of God in your synagogue way back in the Old Testament. What do they call it again?
the Ark of the New Covenant.
The Ark of the New Covenant.
Yeah.
Was that God?
That wasn't God, but that was more
Just
like
a represent.
a station, a dwelling place
Yeah.
for God.
No, I'm
Do
talking
you-
about the Ark.
The
itself.
Ark, okay.
Yeah. Because it was making mention to like stone, Now, even right now, most of you use your Bible as some, let me not say most, I believe Christians feel, most of them feel their Bible like an intermediary between them and God when they hold their Bible to pray.
That's idol worship.
To hold your Bible to pray.
No, when you hold your Bible as a God.
I didn't say hold as a
No,
God. I
that's
said
what
as
I
an
say now. You said
intermediary.
they hold their Bible like it's.
You use it to intermediate. You get.
Yes, it's
That's what I'm saying.
when
now.
when you pray to God, it gives you the wisdom,
Good.
and directs you to the scriptures.
Now I took you back to that Ark.
Yeah.
So are you trying to say that Ark was an idol, sign of idol worshipping?
Do you
No.
know something?
No.
There's something I want to say about that.
Yeah.
I feel that the concept God is not something that we can actually put in a box. I think that's where your conflict is coming from.
It's not
You're trying
really-
to say, you said something that an Indian man in his own right can say his God is I don't know what you call it.
Yeah.
Of course. Then a Nigerian man who was born into a Christian family can say his God is Yahweh, if he's a witness, Jehovah, or whatever.
Yeah.
Then a Muslim person can say it's Allah. That is the complexity of God. Don't question it.
No.
If I was born into
Mm.
a Muslim family, definitely my God would be Allah.
Okay.
I will be praying 5 times a day. I'll be wearing hijab and whatever. But the bottom line is, we all boil down to what is good and what is bad. If you look at the Muslim religion carefully, it's somehow similar to what we practice in a way, just in different approaches.
Yeah.
Just the way you also mentioned something that Americans they have different God. Would I say there's a God of China, there's a God of this? We also have different accents. An American guy speaking is different from the way a UK citizen speaks. It's different from the way we speak. Are we not going to say we don't communicate because we have different accents? Are we not going to say this guy is communicating differently from the way I'm communicating? But at the end of the day, if you pay attention carefully, what he's saying is still trying to say come and go in a different way.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to say come and go in my own way.
Yeah.
He's still trying to say come and go in my own. That's the complexity of communication.
Mhm.
Why don't you accept the complexity of God in its own
Different.
different ways? You don't have to question
Now,
God and try to box it and say, okay, why is this person saying Allah? Why is this person saying this? Why is this person saying that? And another thing, time and season has changed. Even what we are saying now about God, in another 20 years, it will change because every generation comes with its own uniqueness.
yeah.
So does that mean that in another 20 years, if the way they communicate changes, we will not say, okay, these people were doing it like this. There's no God then. There's God now. You try not to I feel where your conflict is coming from is you're trying to understand everything. You're trying to box it.
Let me put this question.
No, I need to respond to what she just said.
Okay.
Personally, I want to add to what she said. Maybe like
Before
what
you
you said
respond.
earlier before what she said. So you can just react at the same time.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. You made reference to the Old Testament, the Ark of the New Covenant.
Yeah.
That now your question was if that Ark was a form of idol worshipping. Okay. Now what you have to understand is that the basis of our Christian practice is on the New Testament, not actually on the Old Testament. The Old Testament is more like a type and shadow of the New Testament.
Yeah, under the Mosaic law, right?
Yeah. So now even in the Old Testament, the Bible record that Abraham was even an idol worship. He came from the background of idol worship. Okay. So now, putting out that question, if that was the ark was an idol worship, okay, it's more like, yes, it was an idol worship, but it was representing something, because in those days they were more of idol worshiping, but it wasn't God Himself. That ark was representing, so it was more like a type of what is going to happen. That ark was more like like it was pointing up to Jesus Christ Himself.
That ark was the place of worship.
Yes,
it was a place of worship.
Place of worship,
not what they worship.
It's not like what they worship.
That's
like
where they carry out burnt offering.
Exactly. Where it is only.
Are you sure you know about the ark?
Yes.
No.
It's
the ark is not a place of worship.
The
ark
it's
is brought into the place of worship.
If
they were even going to war, they would go inside, take the ark, and take it to war.
Yes,
that's the place
so
of
you need to understand that.
That's the place of worship. They carry it wherever they go.
So what I'm trying to say is, if you really want to make reference to the Bible regarding this topic, take us to the New Testament, which is the basis of our practice as Christians.
Okay.
Yeah, so that we know how to get to it. So you can react to it.
I only made that reference because it was talking about stones in India, elephants, representing their God. Yes. Now, back to what you said. If you look where you were trying to explain to me now, you were using physical things like accents. When you talk to this person, you understand. I'm going back to that question again. Where are these gods for us to now ascertain which one is the God behind?
That's why I want to put this question now.
Question.
You said I was trying to box God. That is complex.
The concept,
because human beings with different languages, when we communicate, we still get to understand ourselves. Why can't I just understand this concept of God in different form? You understand? That's why I'm asking this question now. If you say I should accept these gods in different form, how come sitting down here, I've heard the word like there is God and there is gods?
Sure, they are gods.
They are gods.
Sure.
Okay. So meaning Jesus Christ and the Father, they are the supreme God. The other ones, they are the gods.
Jesus Christ is not different from God.
It's the Son of God.
It's not different from God.
That Trinity topic?
No, it's not the Trinity. It's not about the Trinity. I'm not going about the Trinity.
Jesus Christ is God Himself.
Jesus Christ is God Himself. Yeah. So are you trying to tell me that God came down to earth
as a man?
As a man, yes, but He was God. Came down to earth as a man and was being flogged on the streets by His creatures.
Listen, let me say this. Jesus. God Himself.
At this point, Mr. Kadiri, I think you need to calm down.
No,
I don't need to calm down.
No, it doesn't need to calm down.
Getting heated
on that frequency.
It's okay.
It's not reality. Was it not from
Sure, that's what
yes. See, the thing is, God Himself is a family man.
Yeah.
His intention is to relate with man.
Yeah.
And Him, as a spirit, cannot relate with man.
Okay.
So He has to come down as a man in order to relate with man.
Okay. Can I say something?
Okay. Yeah? I'm still on what I'm saying. Maybe can ask.
I don't want to forget.
Okay, ask.
Okay. You said God cannot relate with man, but the same Bible tells us about God talking to Cain, talk to Adam, talk to Abraham.
Not, physical relationship like a man seeing God seeing a man.
As long as they can hear you talk, does that really? I think you're supposed to respect the person you're not seeing, but you hear the voice more.
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to say is this: God wants to, like, when I say God is a family man.
Yeah.
In your family, you don't. I hope when you came as a child.
Yeah.
You grew up as a child. You came to meet your father physically.
Yeah.
Not by hearing his word, hearing his voice or whatever.
Yeah.
You met him physically. Same analogy is what God, the intention of God. He wants to be a family man. Now, looking at the earth, looking at the sins of the earth, he needs to relate with man. Okay, that was why in the Old Testament, the children of Israel, they can't go to God directly. They have to send Moses. Even when Moses was meeting with God, God wasn't showing himself to Moses.
I don't think he believes what you're saying because he believes.
I don't need to
He
believe
doesn't
that.
need to
Yes.
Doesn't need to story. He doesn't need to answer.
I can find Christ in this place. That's
He don't.
He said you can find Christ.
So
I want to put this question out. I'm waiting for you.
Let me just cut it short.
All right.
Okay.
So what I'm trying to say is this: God came down as a man in incarnation, in the womb of a woman.
Okay.
All right. Him coming down as a man is to find expression on how to take away the sins of the world. Now he cannot relate as an immortal that he is to a mere mortal, which is man. All right. So that was the reason why that's why he said when people believe that Jesus is different from God. No, Jesus is God himself. But when he came down, he became a man, and as a man, he needs to bear a name.
You're going into another topic that I would not want to delve in.
He needs to bear a name, which is Jesus. Moreover, his name isn't actually Jesus. Though, like you said, I'm going to a different topic, but I'm just trying to make.
It all boils down to religion.
Yeah.
It boils down to religion, but if we want to go into that, we'll get this mixed up.
It's all right.
I want to ask, before you come, I want to ask, stealing. And I want to talk about morals. Why do you feel, because you know God, you believe in God, and you do not believe in God, do you believe that stealing is bad?
Yeah, morally.
Do you believe that stealing is bad?
Yeah.
Why?
Okay, one, morally is bad. Number one reason. Number two is
It's a sin.
It's a sin because
It's a sin,
that
right?
shall not kill, that shall not steal, that shall not do this.
Okay. Do you believe that it's a sin?
I don't believe there's anything. I don't believe anything called sin. I only
Called
believe
sin.
in crime.
So what's okay? You believe in crime.
Yeah.
So these laws, like do not steal, you believe in crime. They're
Yeah.
made by men, right?
Yeah.
Not made by God. So if I steal, it's okay, provided I'm not being caught by the regulatory or the legal authorities.
If you steal and you are not caught, that means you are not caught. It should be okay with. Should I be okay with that? Do I know that you steal?
So you're okay with it?
You're getting it wrong.
No.
You went to steal and you were not caught.
Wait,
And you know that he stole.
we went to steal.
If I know that
Yes,
it's
he
stole,
stole. Do you see it?
I will
Yes.
bring it to book. I guess I did the wrong thing now.
We went to steal.
Okay, me and you.
We went to
we went to
steal.
steal. Yeah.
On my part, probably, if I believe that there is a God, I will be like, this is a sin. And at the same time, a crime based on the intensity of what I stole. You understand?
Yeah.
You can call it felony or I don't know. You understand?
Yeah.
But you now, you don't believe that it's a sin.
Yes, I believe it's a crime.
It's just a crime.
Yeah.
So if I'm not caught, it's okay.
That's you imposing something on me if you are not caught.
So what about you?
if
If you are not caught,
if I'm not caught,
is it okay?
yes, now I've escaped it now.
Wow. It's okay. So morally,
It's wrong.
no, I'm asking you, morally, is it right or wrong?
It's wrong.
It's wrong. You're not supposed to steal. So how do these morals, how do we come about these morals? How was they instilled in us?
The morals.
Yes.
So is it religion that is still morals or
No,
not?
I'm asking.
I know now. I will ask you back too now.
No, you need to answer me. I'm asking you, how do you feel we were
A
born?
man don't
we were
need
born with this.
don't need religion
Yes.
to have morals.
Okay.
I can agree with him on that.
Yes.
Yes.
You don't need religion to have
No,
morals.
I'm not talking about religion.
Yeah,
You're not talking about religion now.
You're asking who is
You are
stealing
talking
from us.
about
It's all about.
God.
It's all about.
You're talking about the creator, the person who created.
Okay, you're trying to say God was the one that instilled the morals in us.
I'm asking you.
You cannot ask
You
me
are-
about.
you
I
are-
don't
you are-
believe in God.
No, I don't want to shy away. I want
I
you to
wouldn't
tell
agree
me.
with that.
I want you to
Like,
tell
a
me-
religion is still morals in us, because if we even go to some of the stories in the Bible,
Yeah.
some people that are notable characters in the Bible, their lifestyle is not something we won't call moral.
The likes of-
today. Let's talk about, is it David?
Mhm.
David is not a very
Not-
righteous man,
Yes.
but God said he's the man after his heart.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have morals. If you want to bring it to your own topic.
Well,
Will you say I wouldn't say religion is still morals, because I've seen some Christians that the things they do, I won't do it.
Wait. We are talking about religion now. You are drifting away from God's existence or not?
No, I'm not drifting away from God's existence.
Yeah.
I'm saying I don't agree with the fact that religion is still morals.
The real deal
You don't
is
need religion to have
God
have
existence and not religion as well. After now we'll be talking about other aspects of religion, but now we are focusing on God himself. Does he exist or not? You believe that he exists, and you believe that he does not exist.
Yeah.
So I'm asking, based on God does not exist from your own aspect, how do you feel it came about these morals of right and wrong?
I believe when a man gives birth to his child, it's his primary responsibility to train up that child to be what he wants him to be.
Okay.
In other hands,
as said in the Bible or as not said in the Bible.
There's no. I don't.
Train a boy in the way he should go.
Do you know? When you ask me questions, ask me like I told you I don't believe in God.
From that point,
you don't have to refer me back to the Bible. Anything I'm giving to you is of what I feel.
It's what you feel.
What I know.
Just flow.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking you.
Because
these things are coming from you.
Before Christianity came to Africa, are you trying to tell me that there was no proper human being in Africa with morals?
Proper human being with morals.
Yeah,
that's why I'm asking you where the morals came from.
That's the same thing now.
You said it's occurred by chance, right?
It's not by chance. You have to bring up your child if you want to have good morals.
So what are you saying? You're saying men, culture.
I started. Is moral? Do you link the moral to culture, like norms? What people just feel is generally acceptable.
Let me dive into history a bit. If you go to ancient Greek, they were people of high intellectual level. Most of the things we're operating on today, especially senate, architect, poetry.
Yeah.
They were all
the Indians, the Arabs.
Not Arabs.
They all had their own aspect.
No, I'm talking about Greek in particular.
Okay, Greek.
Poetry,
civil construction.
Yes, poetry, architecture, those things. It all started ancient time. So according to their tribes, like for the Spartans, they believe they are a warrior tribe. When they are breed their children, breed them to be brutes. The Athenians, they like poetry, like writing, documentation, scribes, they bring them up. Now let's go to the Scandinavians, which is the early Vikings. They believe on a warrior life, die in battle, read, steal. Do you get? They breed a race of looters. They will just get on their boats, navigate to any land of their choice, raid the land, slaughter people, pack their belongings, take them back. That is their way of life then. So they bring up their children in that way. Now, you talking of morals. Those times, those things are seen as good morals because of it's what they practice
at that time.
As at then.
Okay, what do you
now,
feel?
life has evolved from those era. Evolve. Man has learned coexisting.
Yeah.
These laws we are talking about was still put in place by men.
Yeah.
If you go to Malaysia now, they catch you with cocaine, they will hang you to death. It's in the Bible. It's not there in the Bible. That's what I'm trying to let you understand, that you don't need a God or you don't need a religion for you to have good morals. If your geographical plane, which is where you are, if they have their standard of morality there, that's how you will go with it.
Okay. Now, when I talk about morals, you agree with him?
Yeah, I kind of agree with him on that stance, though. You don't need religion for morals. See, the thing is, God himself, I'm speaking as a Christian, God has created the world and put things in place, systems in place that runs on its own. He doesn't need, the only thing is you only need man to run this system, or the system runs on its own naturally. So God doesn't have to involve himself in it again. You can't give birth to a child and expect God to come down, or maybe you expect this supernatural of a thing to help train your child. No. As a man, you know your left from your right. You know the good things, you know the bad things. Okay. Now, you just have to train your child in a way that inculcates morals in that child. So religion doesn't have to come in there.
Okay. Are you of the belief that, for example, taking a plant, you water a plant and you just allow it grow. Are you of the belief that you do not have 100% over a child? Maybe it's moral. For example, you just have to train a child, do your best, and he will definitely end up whatever he wants to be.
Okay. Yeah, I think so, because it's one thing to train a child as a father or as a parent. It's another thing for that child to follow that training, or probably the child followed the training at an early stage, but at a point in his or her life deviated, probably peer pressure, friends, whatever. Okay, or the environment can also make a child deviate from the morals. You understand? Just like you said, you water a flower or a plant and it keeps growing and nourishing and the rest of it all. But the thing is, as that child is growing up, you are nourishing that child, you are nurturing the child to come to a certain level of morals.
So everything is human driven.
Human driven.
There's no interference of God there.
God is not involved in it.
Okay.
God is not involved in it. The only thing is,
you're also upstream.
I was gonna give the answer first.
Yes. It's okay. So at this point, Mr. Government, Mrs. Caroline, and Mr. Kadiri, we've had a long discussion.
But I have sorry to cut you short. I still have something reservation, like something that he.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I said I'm going to say it. Like,
yes.
I asked him a question. He reacted to it, but I still have more of a follow-up reaction to that.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Let me hear you.
Okay. So when he talked, I asked him how him as a man came out to exist.
Yes.
So he talked about his father, his great-grandfather, his grandfather, the rest of it and all that. Okay, now, all that boils down to lineage, right? All right. So, I think if you want to trace your lineage as a man that you are now, from your family, there's a place you will stop. You can't just, I don't think it's possible to trace it from the early beginning, but there's a place you will stop. Now, that place you stop is where your knowledge stops about your lineage.
Yeah.
All right. So, where you stop, there is a beginning for another person.
Yeah.
So it goes down there, down to the point that the first man that was created, that came into the earth, though you already say all these things will lead us back to Adam. All right. So that is where I'm still driving, leading us back to Adam as the first man that was created on earth by God.
So
I'm coming. I'm going to channel this question to you. I think I'm getting him.
So by God. Yeah. So now Adam coming in as a man. For reproduction to take place, a man and a woman have to meet. Understand? So now Eve came out of Adam as more like cloning. Okay? Eve wasn't created. Adam was created. Eve wasn't created.
But she didn't evolve.
No, she didn't evolve. Okay. She came out.
Okay.
All right. Was Genesis 5:1, either 5:1 or 5:2. The Bible says that God created a man named. God created male and female, a man and a woman named Adam.
Yes.
He didn't say name Adam and Eve. He said name Adam, meaning in Adam a woman is there. So he brought a woman.
Even the animals, they were male and female.
It was animals that was male and female, but a man, he said he created a man.
Then he made a female.
He made a female out of a man.
Yes.
So now, what I'm trying to say is, if you actually want to study, just as you studied about religion, you actually want to study deep down and study your lineage very well, you can be, if not 100% sure, at least 90% sure that your lineage still traced down from the lineage of Adam.
Okay. Before you react, I want to channel this question to you. So far, he has gone back to Adam, as you say. He will always go back to Adam. Now, you please remind me. You said the word. It's existing for how long now?
Something billion. 45 billion.
Yes.
45 billion years. Based on your research.
Yeah.
Now you said you've asked, your great grandfather. If you're able to research about, the years of how old the world is, don't you think you can research and get to know your lineage, where you actually started from?
I don't think I can get a finite answer to that because of migration and some other things.
Because of
migration.
Okay, migration.
Other things.
Okay.
But now, you agree that Adam is the first man and we are all descendants of Adam. Do you believe in race?
Race.
Human race, human type of race.
Okay, yeah.
Caucasian, Mongolian, Negroid. You believe in them.
Mm-hmm.
So which of them was Adam?
Adam was not pictured to be in any ways.
Okay.
Yeah. He just came as a creation.
He is saying that Adam is the first man. And if I'm to answer for him, every other race came from Adam.
him. Okay. I'm happy we have a scientist here, right?
Yes.
You believe in genetics now, you believe in DNA. So are you trying to say we all in this world are going to match the DNA of Adam if you were to carry out a DNA test on him?
I won't say that. According to, if we go to the scriptures, I'm not going to quote where exactly,
Okay.
but
Just
you
say
notice
something
there's
we can
a
hear.
part of the Bible that said, when there was chaos in heaven.
You are going to the Bible.
Yes,
You
I want
don't-
to. I want to
Yeah,
explain
I'm not
the.
against that.
I want to explain why
That's not
our
the
genes will not.
No,
all-
I'm not against that.
I want
What
to
is it?
explain
That's about the
why.
gene.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to explain.
Okay.
Why our genes will not all match that of Adam.
Okay.
In the Bible, it was written that there were fallen angels, not only Lucifer, and those angels mated with men. And that is a mixture of heavenly genes or whatever, a different gene with that of Adam. So there's a lot of mixture, interchanging of genes that has happened over time. So if you even run a DNA on all of us, definitely we will not come out of matching that of Adam's. Because definitely some will be dominant with that of angels, the genes of the, I don't know, whichever. Is it in Sodom and Gomorrah that they were having sex with angels, or I can't quote it exactly because I'm not a Bible scholar.
But I object.
No, you can't object that because it's there. If you want us
I know.
to, if you want us to go to Google engine
You're
and
right.
search,
You can
we
only
can find
object
it in the
as
Bible.
why you don't believe in whatever we quote
I'm
from
just
the
saying to-
Bible.
I want to
trying
move
to
correct. I'm making a correction.
Okay.
That's why I say I object.
Okay, please.
Truly, the Bible recorded the account of fallen angels
Yeah.
meeting mortal women and having Nephilims as children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there was a man called Noah. He was a direct descendant of Adam.
Okay.
A direct descendant of Adam.
Yeah.
And the Bible made us to believe that there was a great flood
That swept.
that wiped out every other race, every other person.
I'm sorry.
Have you
sorry,
studied the
said
Bible in
made
totality?
us to believe. Are you also in belief?
I'm not in,
When you say the
Okay.
Bible made us to
You
believe,
maybe say it's a slip of tongue.
it's not a slip of tongue. When
Well,
I say
okay,
He's trying to,
use the word
he's
us.
trying to bring an
Yes.
argument from.
So are you part of us?
make us to
no,
believe.
it's made him.
Okay.
It's made.
Okay.
I think that's the past tense.
No,
Let
It's
him
made
drive. Let him
believe.
drive his
Okay,
point.
yes.
Drive.
it make us to believe that there was a flood that wiped out those people.
Okay.
And it now boiled down to just one man and three of his sons, Noah, Ham, Shem, and Japheth. That's a pure race. So, are you trying to tell me that this whole world, China, India, all came out of these three people?
I have a question for you that you've not answered. You
Yeah.
just brought you just countered me
Another
with.
question.
Do you have you
Which I
studied
would
have you
hold.
studied the Bible in totality
Yeah,
about
to an
the
extent.
flood
Yes.
of Noah?
Yeah.
About the people who have you studied that story in totality?
Yeah.
That it was only Noah and his three descendants that came out of the flood. And do you know that there are also other verses in the Bible that can be a continuation of a different story? Let's say the story of Noah. There can be a continuation. That's what I'm asking. Have you studied the Bible in totality to give me proof that, okay, truly, there is no reason why our genes shouldn't match that of Noah? Have you studied?
You are a Christian. There's a verse that contradicts what I say. You're supposed to tell me.
No, I'm not supposed to know all the verses in the
Good.
Bible,
There's
even though I'm
no
a
verse.
Christian.
That I just gave you the story of Noah in all totality.
No, I'm asking a question that
Yeah.
the Bible, the story of Noah, cannot just independently be your proof to tell me that, okay, all of us should have the same gene because of just that story. I've asked, have you studied other verses in the Bible and see if there's any relating story to that of Noah to tell you that, okay, there's a survivor from that flood? Have you studied other verses? Because me, I haven't.
So far, all my study of the Bible, I've studied the Bible vastly. And Noah's story ends in Noah. It ends in Genesis. There's
Then,
no other book.
Why don't you try studying other verses of the Bible and then come to me with facts that all our genes are meant to match that
you
of
didn't
Noah?
understand me. I was talking to you as a scientist. Yes, that question was given to you as a scientist. I'm trying
Scientists should have.
I'm trying to make
facts.
you understand now that I have studied the Bible. The
Okay.
story of Noah started and ended in Genesis. So I don't need to go and search another part of the Bible again for it. If there is another verse that talked about Noah, you guys are Christian. You guys are supposed to say, no, there is so and so verse. They said something about Noah again.
Christians are not meant to know all the verses.
Yes, you're right. But what I'm trying to say in a nutshell is that the Bible clearly stated that Noah and his 3 sons made it out of that ark. There's
something I want to even say about Christianity, yeah?
Yeah.
Aside the Bible, there's something called the Spirit of God that is in man.
Okay.
And that is what gives you understanding to different situations.
Okay.
So even if I've not studied those verses in the Bible, as far as I'm a Christian and I have the Spirit of God in me, that is enough evidence for me to tell you that I have a God. And you can just either tell me you don't have that spirit in you, so you don't have that God, and we can leave it at that.
Okay, now you're taking me back.
So I'm giving you enough facts as a human being. I'm giving you a conclusive fact to tell you that there is a God.
That is
the Spirit of God.
Okay, the Spirit of God in you.
Yes.
Okay.
That His Spirit bears witness to our spirit.
Okay, the Spirit of God bears witness to your spirit. So
can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Have you seen situations where Bible-believing Christians say something that's like they make prophecies, things that are yet to come, and they happen as they declared it? Have you seen that happen? Can you explain?
I've not seen.
You've not seen.
Not.
Okay, individually as a person, have you ever had a revelation, or maybe let me call it a dream, because you don't believe in the Bible? Have you ever had a dream about something, and then what you dreamt about happened? Or has someone around you ever told you that I dreamt of this thing happening, and it happened just the way the person said it? Has that happened around you before? Okay. Have you heard it happened around anybody?
Anybody can tell me anything. I need to be the one to experience it to know that this thing is true.
I guess maybe because he doesn't have the Spirit of God, so he doesn't have that privilege. So you can't.
Now, talking about the Spirit of God. So the Spirit of God is selective with people that
it starts with your belief.
Okay, start with my belief.
Yes.
Okay.
It starts with your belief. That is why you see anybody can become a Christian. Even if I was born into a Muslim family, I can become a Christian. I can't. That's why I say I can't put God in a box.
Okay.
Even me speaking to you today, I can start confessing another race tomorrow.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean that I will now box God and say, "Oh, I was once confessing this faith, and now I'm confessing that this God is confused. This God is this. This God is that."
Why don't we start from people claiming yours is the superior God?
I see. God is God.
No.
God. Let me say something. God is God.
Okay.
I believe God can be interpreted in diverse ways.
Yes.
I have very close.
You said there is a God and there is gods.
Do you know what
it is that God that is being interpreted in different ways. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so even that your God can still fall in that gods too, right?
No.
God cannot be God. You can't say that.
I think at this junction.
That's why they have the word King of Kings. They are little gods.
Do you know that Israel today is not a Christian country?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know.
Okay. And I believe they are God's people, right?
Yes.
Okay. So
Israelites.
Yeah. Israel is not
You said something about migration. You said something that you cannot give us facts about where you came from because of migration.
Mr. Kadiri,
there is something that is, there's something about characteristics of human being. The first on it is movement.
Yeah.
Humans will continually move. Tomorrow, Nigeria might not be accommodating Nigerians. It might just be accommodating another race.
Yeah.
Would we not say that, okay, the Bible, let's assume the Bible was written in this time and it said Nigerians were black, blah, 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 and we all moved and this country is now accommodating white folks. We can now start questioning and say, oh, the Bible said this and it's not like this. Well, you know that human move. You also said it. That
what you just did, you're wishing.
I'm not wishing. You said it. I'm using your word for you.
In the next 200 years to come, no matter how migration comes, Nigeria will remain a black country.
No, that's just an illustration.
That's why I say you're wishing.
It's just an illustration. It could be. It could not be.
If I want to give illustration to, if you observe me, I'm trying to use logic. Anything I'm saying. If I want to give illustration, or I think it should be, I don't think you can debate it. Yeah, do you get? Because if you want to give me something, okay, let's use Great Britain as an example.
Okay.
Great Britain is comprises of Saxons, Britons, and Britons, Wales, and the Danes, which is Denmark, or the Scandinavians. Do you know why? there is a full account of their migration, transactions, battles, and how they decide to settle Northumbrian, all Saxon land together to be one Great Britain today. If you actually check their DNA, you can testify that, okay, this one have a Saxon trace, this one have a Breton trace, this one have a Scandinavian trace in his blood. Do you get? Now, if you look about the geographical plane of where the Bible is centered, you and I know is the Middle East. And when we say the Middle East, not just the Middle East, far, far Middle East, because Israel is very, very deep in the Middle East, because you can actually call Egypt Middle East. You know that?
Yeah.
Good. Now, if you check the existence of the people in that region, according to their own documentation, they were first called the Semitic people, which later grew, and they became the Jewish people. During their time of, because the Judaism started with Abraham. That is when their Jewish movement started. But to predate that, there were a race of people that they were breeding there from Noah. They were called Semitic people. They have their kind of skin color. They have their kind of hair, which is nearly not the same with either Africans, Asians, or the Caucasians.
Do you believe that, the environmental factor can also have an effect on the race? Like, let me for instance, in Germany, there's this dog, the German Shepherd.
Yeah.
It has long fur. During the war, some of these dogs were taken to France. The Hitler during the war in Nazi Germany, some of these dogs were taken to France. France is a temperate condition. It's hot. Some of these dogs started losing their hairs, and that's why you have short coat German Shepherds today.
Yeah.
They call them Alsatian. Why they call the ones long coats? Call them German Shepherd. So do you feel, because if you jackpot tomorrow now, you say, boy, your skin all fresh, see how you did.
Yeah.
You grab. If you born picking for that, your picking will resemble. You understand? With time, don't you feel that environmental factor and other conditions can make humans? I'm putting out the question to you, that do you think that environmental factor and yes
can change your external features?
Yes.
But it cannot change your internal features. Do you know
internal features like what?
Your DNA, your genetics, it cannot change it.
But by the time you
use the German Shepherd as an example.
Yeah.
So let me tell you about Yellowstone. I don't know if you're doing documentary on Yellowstone before.
No.
That's where they have the most wildlife of bears, fox in America.
Okay.
Yellowstone Valley. When it's winter, the fox that live there, the wolves that live there, their fur becomes thicker. When it's autumn, they lose those fur.
Yeah.
When winter starts again, they regain. You can do that. So those are
adaptation.
Yes. So you cannot use that to
even the adaptation. How do you think that how was that adaptation instilled in
the body of animals in general? There are so many things it can do that we have not even found about it.
Yeah. So I think at this junction we just have to call it a day. Thank you guys for watching. From Mr. Government who said that there is a God.
Always.
And Mr. Kadiri who said that there is no God.
There is no God.
And who believes that the Bible was written by primitive men. Of which I was about to ask him if, for example, David who wrote the Bible, you understand, if he would write his own mistakes, those sins that he committed, if he was writing it with his own head. I don't know whether he would write those things, because we heard, according to the Bible, that they were inspired to write both their own mistakes.
Did David write the Bible?
David.
No.
David. Was it Psalms?
Okay.
Psalms, Songs of Solomon. Those are people who wrote different books, even Proverbs.
Psalms and Songs of Solomon.
No,
I don't think David wrote.
I'm talking of various writers. Moses wrote Genesis to Deuteronomy.
Yes.
David also sang. He wrote songs. He had lyrics.
I disagree. David did not write.
I think he is right. David did not write the Psalms, the Proverbs, Songs of Solomon.
So who wrote the Psalms?
The writers of Psalms Sons of Solomon proverb. Maybe I don't have the answers to that, but not actually David. I think it was Psalms, Sons of Solomon, and proverb is written on eyewitness accounts.
So you are holding,
Eyewitness
as a
accounts,
Christian,
like-
you are holding that David was no part of writing the Bible.
Even Jesus Christ did not write anything in the Bible.
No, so you feel that David did not have any account in the Bible.
Yeah.
Yes,
it was
Jesus
eyewitness
did not
accounts.
write. Even
Okay.
Jesus did not write.
Yes.
So who wrote?
Hmm?
Who wrote?
Who wrote?
Yes,
I just called Moses.
Moses called Paul.
Moses wrote.
Paul wrote.
Paul wrote the
Yeah.
epistles.
Would they
John
have, would they have written
Yes,
their own
Peter wrote.
mistake?
You said?
Would they have written their own mistake if they were writing it on their own opinion or if they were inspired?
If they have
By
written their
God.
own mistake.
Yes,
Since he doesn't believe in God, I don't know if
Yeah,
that's
that was-
that
I'm
should be
telling
direct-
you,
that
they
should
wrote
be
it on their own
directed to
account.
him.
on their own
Okay,
account.
for example, now Elijah sent out beer to eat 120 children. God say you should write something like that.
That hey, see, if they did a mistake, they will cover it up, and they
And
will not write
It's the
it.
same thing now.
So
No.
I just said it so
I
that
use Elijah for it,
you
because Elijah
you
was trying to
can
show
think
the strength of
and
God.
and you can is there a creator? I don't want you to just
You're
go
not
come